President Erdogan expresses commitment to visit Malaysia. No plans to declare public holiday in Selangor for the 12th of August. Good afternoon and Salam Malaysia Madani. Thanks for joining us. I'm Nur Zamri and you're watching Updates at Noon, edition of Sunday. Prime Minister Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim today announced that Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan will be visiting Malaysia soon. He said Erdogan has expressed clear commitment regarding the visit in fulfilling his invitation to further strengthen the relationship between the two countries during a virtual meeting last night. The two leaders agreed to meet face-to-face during the United Nations General Assembly in New York next month. In the meeting, Datuk Seri Anwar said he and Erdogan expressed defence cooperation when the Turkish Defence Industry Agency SSB sent a large delegation to participate in the Langkawi International Maritime and Aerospace Exhibition Lima 2023 last May. The Prime Minister, in expressing his admiration for Turkish defence technology advancement, said he was confident that Malaysia would benefit greatly from the close cooperation between the two countries. Also present at the meeting was Prime Minister Datuk Seri Dr. Zamri Abdul Kadir. The government intends to introduce a new type of school specifically for children of the poorest groups in the country so that they are not left behind in the education system. Prime Minister Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim said the framework of a science secondary school with a complete boarding facility would guide the implementation of this type of school. He also emphasized that everyone should have access to equal educational opportunities so that no group is left out of the demonstration of quality of education.
Saya nak buat satu jenis sekolah seperti sekolah menengah sains, satu sekolah menengah asrama penuh bagi kelompok yang paling miskin di negara kita. Jadi kita ada sekolah yang memberi ruang kepada anak yang paling miskin dan tentunya kalau dia paling miskin, keputusan dia tidak sebegitu pintar. Tapi kita beri dia peluang. Dan itu bagi makna manusiawi, memberi keadilan kepada semua.
The Prime Minister said there is currently a gap between urban schools and rural schools like those in Manikorai, Kelantan and Kapit, Sarawak. While admitting that education is one way to escape from the clutches of poverty, Datuk Seri Anwar said education was important to increase social mobility, which, according to him, was migration for the poor. The Selangor state government has no plans to declare the 12th of August as a special public holiday to facilitate voters, particularly workers, to visit polling stations for the state election. Caretaker Menteri Besar Datuk Seri Amiruddin Shahdi said the decision was made considering the financial implications associated with such a move.
Itu terpulang kepada pekerja sebab dia ada implikasi gaji. Kita pun tak nak membebankan di saat kita nak pulihkan ekonomi. Dan bila dibuat hari Sabtu, pengumuman yang agak panjang, tempoh masa di antara pengumuman pembubaran sampai hari penamaan juga agak lama, ni paling lama. Dan election berlaku kira-kira hampir 2 bulan lengkap daripada tempoh yang masa. Jadi sebenarnya planning tu ada, it's not too sudden.
Datuk Seri Amiruddin also said that free bus services were provided in the state, which could help voters travel to polling stations. Police have denied a report by a news portal that Kedah Menteri Besar Datuk Seri Muhammad Sanusi Madno has been arrested or called up again to have his statement recorded yesterday. Royal Malaysia Police PRM in a statement said no one from Bukit Aman, the Kedah contingent or the District Police Headquarters in Kedah had taken action as reported by the news portal. As such, the PDRM urged the news portal that reported the fake news to apologise and take down the news report. PDRM said a police report would be lodged for an investigation into the spread of the fake news. PDRM said the publication of unverified news like this could cause panic among the public, especially when the state elections are taking place. Earlier, a local news portal reported that Datuk Sri Muhammad Sanusi was said to have been arrested by police yesterday evening. In a video clip of a program held in Padang Serai Kedah, a man was seen stating that Datuk Sri Muhammad Sanusi could not attend the event due to security reasons. The investigation papers against 8 followers of the Ahmadi religion who held a rally in support of lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, LGBT rights in front of the Ogos shopping complex on the 29th of July were already sent to the Attorney General's chambers. Kuala Lumpur Police Chief Datuk Sri Muhammad Shuhaili Muhammad Zain said all 8 suspects aged between 18 and 56 were released on police bail after the remand period was over. Datuk Sri Muhammad Suhaili said the suspects were remanded for a day to facilitate investigations under Section 186 of the Penal Code, Section 14 of the Minor Offences Act 1955 and Section 9, Subsection 5 of the Peaceful Assembly Act 2012. On the 31st of July, 8 individuals suspected to be Ahmadi Religion of Peace and Light, the Ahmadi members, were arrested after holding a gathering and seen holding placards in support of LGBT in front of Sogo. Datuk Sri Muhammad Shuhaili told reporters when met at the KL Corps Urbanathlon program at the Kuala Lumpur Police Contingent headquarters yesterday. Meanwhile, in the program that is being held for the first time yesterday, he said it was aimed at strengthening rapid while promoting a healthy lifestyle among KL police personnel. He said 36 teams comprising 180 participants representing 10 KL IPK departments and 6 KL police districts including 2 media teams are participating in the program. The Kembara Rio Festival, which provides a platform for entrepreneurs and artists to showcase their products and talents, will be expanded to other states to increase the demand within the creative industry. Deputy Communications and Digital Minister Teo Niching said the 2023 Kembara Rio Pulau Pinang edition is the second time it is being held after the first one at Fraser Valley in Kuala Kubu Baru, Selangor on the 29th of July.
Memang merupakan satu signature program yang dibawa sebuah agensi di bawah KKD iaitu kumpulan My Creative Venture. Kembara Rio edisi Pulau Pinang ini telahlah dapat satu jumlah pengunjung telahlah mencatat 13,000 orang. Jadi maksudnya saya percaya sampailah hujung malam ini kita memang bolehlah pengunjung kita adalah lebih daripada 20,000 orang. Mungkinlah bolehlah mencecah 25,000 orang. Jadi ini menunjukkan bahawa memang begitu ramai peminat yang berminat denganlah Kembara Rio ini.
The 2-day festival, which started at Juru Auto City, Pulau Pinang on Friday, showcased an array of arts and cultural exhibitions, creative workshops, pop-up food stalls, and sales of local products. Visitors also watched for free performances by Queen of Rock Ella, Anwar Zain, Faisal Tahir, Kaka Azraf, Bang Faiz, and Najwa Latif. In our foreign front, Kim Jong-un calls for increased production at weapon factories in North Korea. Iran has equipped its Revolutionary Guards Navy with drones and 1,000-kilometer range missiles. Iranian news agencies reported this on Saturday as the United States said it could soon put guards on commercial ships going through the Gulf Strait of Hormuz. Revolutionary Guards Navy Commander Ali Reza Tangsiri told state television that the new missiles had better precision as well as longer range.
قادر هست این موشک‌ها چند هدف رو دنبال بکنن و شلیک که شدن فرمان بگیرن در بین راه شما میتونید اهداف اینا رو عوض کنید.
Earlier this week, Washington said it could soon offer to put armed sailors and marines on commercial ships in the region following Iran's seizure and harassment of vessels. Since 2019, there have been a series of attacks on shipping in strategic Gulf waters at times of tension between the United States and Iran. Tehran usually says detained vessels have committed shipping violations. Some have been released only after foreign countries have freed detained Iranian ships. North Korean leader Kim Jong-un ordered for increased production capacities at major weapons factories after giving field guidance at the sites this week, calling it an important part of bolstering the country's defense capabilities. Kim inspected the factories between Thursday and Saturday, which produce shells for Super League caliber multiple rocket launchers and transporter erector launchers that are normally used for fire ballistic missiles. His reported visits to multiple arms production facilities over several consecutive days were unusual but come amid a push by the country to develop very strategic and conventional weapons and recent prominent displays of a range of weapons. In late July, marking the 70th anniversary of the end of the Korean War, Pyongyang put on a major military parade displaying its newest nuclear-capable missiles and attack and spy drones. The event had senior officials from Beijing and Moscow in attendance, including Russia's Defense Minister Sergei Shoigu. North China's Hebei province had evacuated more than 1.54 million people due to heavy rainfall over the previous few days. Amid the impact of Typhoon Doksuri, torrential rains have battered most parts of Hebei. Heavy rainfall lashed cities including the provincial capital city of Shijiazhuang and Zhoudang and Chengdu in the northeast. A total of 883 towns and townships in 98 county-level regions of Hebei have been hit by rain-triggered flooding, affecting over 2.22 million people. Workers are racing to repair the damaged roads and bridges, restore power and water supply, as well as communication services. The Hebei Provincial Meteorological Bureau has issued the second highest level alert for geological disasters, including landslides in several counties of Boding City. Torrential rains are expected in the coming days in multiple areas of Hebei. Hebei had dispatched 3,385 working groups and mobilized materials worth 150 million yuan, equivalent to about $21 million to assist with rescue and relief efforts. So far, more than 300 professional emergency rescue teams and 6,913 people have participated in the on-site rescue work in Zhuzhou, one of the worst affected areas in Hebei. The United Arab Emirates UAE is facing a wave of scorching heat, with the highest temperature surpassing 50 degrees Celsius, posing significant challenges for construction workers. In the UAE Emirate of Ras Al Khaimah, blazing heat and blinding sunlight persisted even until the evening. Construction site workers often work in outdoors during the hot weather and are directly exposed to the hot environment. Extreme hot can be risks of heat-related illnesses and injuries, including heat stroke, heat burn, and the heat cramps, fainting, and heat rash. The UAE's tropical desert climate, known for its lengthy and scorching summer, significantly impacts the progress of construction projects. According to previous calculations, the heat could generally reduce work efficiency by around 20%. Statistical data show that the construction market in the UAE soared to $86.7 billion in 2022, bolstered by rising investments into sectors like housing, industry, and tourism. The construction market is projected to maintain an average annual growth rate of over 3% from 2024 to 2027. Firefighters in northeastern Spain brought a wildfire under control on Saturday, which was threatening residential areas and burned 573 hectares. The wildfire, which started on Friday in Catalonia's coastal town of Portbou, left locals and tourists without water, electricity, internet and phone service over the weekend. Local authorities said about 150 people had been evacuated, mostly from a nearby campsite, and residents of two towns were asked to remain indoors. Europe is battling the effects of scorching weather, with July having been the hottest month on record in the 174-year history of temperature monitoring. Last year, heat waves resulted in over 61,600 heat-related fatalities across 35 European countries and triggered devastating wildfires. Terima tests await Harimau Malaya. That and more next in sports. The Harimau Malaya squad is set to face two more tests in practice matches against Saudi Arabia and Oman before they kick off their 2023 Asian Cup campaign in Qatar next January. Football Association of Malaysia FAM President Datuk Hamidin Muhammad Amin, in confirming this, said the head coach Kim Panggon's Harimau Malaya will take on Saudi Arabia's first in Doha, Qatar, before flying to Oman for the second friendly. In the 2023 Asian Cup campaign starting 12 January until 10 February, Malaysia was drawn into Group E with two-time champions South Korea as well as Jordan and Lebanon. In the second round of the 2026 World Cup 2027 Asian Cup qualifiers, which will begin in November, Malaysia have been drawn in Group D with Oman, Kyrgyzstan and the winner of the playoff between Taiwan and Timor-Leste. In a related matter, Datuk Hamidin Muhammad Amin explained that there is no issue for Harimau Malaya to hold a friendly match with Oman despite being drawn into the same group.
Kita dah memang confirm pada 3 bulan kita menentang Saudi di Doha, dan kita fly ke Oman untuk melawan Oman. Jadi ada mungkin isu tentang Oman ni kita dalam satu grup, tapi saya berpendapat sama ada Oman ni di dalam bukan grup kita dalam grup Asian Cup ke tidak, tapi grup untuk kita kerana di dalam dengan Oman ni kita akan bermain dalam yang tertutup kerana dibenarkan satu je friendly untuk FIFA kalender. Jadi ini masa dia mungkin untuk Kim Panggun untuk melihat, untuk menukar taktikal atau melihat mana strategi untuk tim itu bermain.
Welshman Elfyn Evans was heading for his second Rally Finland victory after winning 7 stages in a row for Toyota on Saturday, with only 4 stages and a total of 51.64 kilometres of time action remaining on the fast gravel roads on Sunday. 2021 winner Evans led Hyundai's Thierry Neuville by a comfortable 32.1 seconds. Evans had started the penultimate day 6.9 seconds clear, but stood out through the wet early stages and again in drier afternoon conditions to take all but one of the day's 8 stages. Toyota's World Championship leader and reigning champion Kalle Rovanperä crashed out of his home Avon on Friday, giving Evans a chance to close his gap on his teammate with 4 rounds remaining. Toyota's Takamoto Katsuta denied Evans a sweep on Saturday by taking the closing Vicula 2 stage ahead of Neuville and the Welshman. M Sport Ford was not so fortunate as they lost both of their cars. Overnight leader Ortanak hit a heavy compression which caused damage to his sump guard and engine. He switched to EV mode before exiting the stage via an access road. Pierre-Louis Levitt, on the other hand, ran wide on the right-hand bend and hit a tree which damaged his car's rear suspension. Spaniard Alex Marquez beat late-charging Marco Bezzecchi to become the 5th different sprint winner in 9 rounds of the MotoGP season, with victory in the 10-lap race at Silverstone on Saturday. The Gresini Racing Ducati rider, who started on the front row in 3rd place, beat VR46 Ducati's pole sitter Bezzecchi by 0.366 seconds, with Aprilia's Maverick Vinales 3rd. The younger brother of six-time MotoGP champion Mark, who finished 18 for the struggling Repsol Honda team, Marcus took the lead from KTM's Australian Jack Miller on the second lap on a drying track after heavy rain. He had the race under control until the last lap when he made a mistake and engaged second gear instead of third at Cobbs, with the bike moving around and losing time. Alec Marquez was one of the several failures in qualifying, with some riders questioning whether the sprint should go ahead on safety grounds before conditions improve. Championship leader Francesco Bagnaia finished 14 and failed to score for the factory Ducati team after losing 5 places at the start in a race with 6 Italian bikes filling the top 6 places. Bezzecchi returned to second place in the championship, closing Bagnaia's lead to 27 points ahead of Sunday's main Grand Prix, while Spaniard Jorge Martin dropped to third overall after finishing 6th for Pramac Ducati. Barbie movie Mania face-to-face translation tool and longest torta sandwich were among the many fascinating happenings and inventions from all over the world this week. Let's take a look at these amazing stories in the world around us. Thousands of game lovers dressed in costumes flock to China's largest gaming expo, China Joy, also known as the China Digital Entertainment Expo and Conference in Shanghai recently. China Joy is Asia's biggest game fair, covers a total of 120,000 square meters with over 500 exhibitors, including 100 from overseas. Almost all game leaders, including Sony PlayStation, Tencent, NetEase, Perfect World, MiHoYo, AMD, Dana and Qualcomm attended the show. Many visitors wore cosplay outfits, took trolley bags to easily collect gifts, and brought accessories and lights to provide better effects for their photography and selfies. Dance and socialize, collecting free gifts at various booths, playing demo games yet to be published, bought from the booth of comic books and animation models, and taking photos with friends and showgirls, all glad to join the China Joy party. Some books and products offered at the expo were limited editions and only sold at the event. As Japan enjoys a post-pandemic resurgence in tourism from around the globe, Seibu Railway is using automated translation to help visitors navigate one of Tokyo's most baffling transportation hubs. The device allows customers and a station attendant to converse while the semi-transparent display spells out the words in Japanese and one of 11 other languages, including English, French, Mandarin, and Spanish.
Google Translate isn't always available because you don't always have Wi-Fi everywhere you go. So places like this, it's also much faster than pulling up your phone, typing everything out, sort of showing it, and there's a misunderstanding. Having it like this, clear on the screen, it's really nice.
Seibu Railway says the translation device is intended to help customers with more complex requests like directions or information about the local area. Traditional ticket machines and manned ticket windows are still available. As the Barbie movie Mania sweeps the world, fans in Wellington, New Zealand are attracted to a pink collection of bronze Barbie dolls. The pop-up exhibit in Wellington Museum has about 500 Barbie and Ken dolls on display, all from one person. Betsy Carlisle, the biggest collector in New Zealand, who has started her collection since 1998 and now owns over 1,600 boxes of Barbies. The 66-year-old Carlisle brought the first Barbie doll, Peaches and Cream, in Australia in 1984 for her colleague's daughter. Meanwhile, curator of the Barbie collector, Megan Dunn, said many people come directly from seeing the Barbie movie to the exhibit, and some of them even dress in pink.
I wanted to create an exhibition that could delight families and capture the magic of this incredible toy as people are watching Barbie the movie. I did think the movie was going to be a bit of a cultural sensation, but boy, has it been a lot bigger than I ever could have expected.
The Barbie movie made a record-breaking debut in cinemas on the 20th of July in New Zealand and already crossed $600 million in ticket sales worldwide. Almost 100 cooks worked together to prepare what they hope would be the longest torta sandwich during the 18th annual Torta Fair in Mexico City earlier this week. The sandwich, filled with different kinds of meats, vegetables and cheeses, measured 75 meters. Last year, participants of the Torta Fair established a record by preparing a 74-meter-long sandwich. During the fair, attendees could taste a piece of the enormous snack or instead try the gastronomic offer of more than 70 Mexican and international sandwich stalls.
Excelente porque hay hasta expositores internacionales, los sabores deliciosos y esperamos que se siga haciendo este evento.
Entonces aquí pues es para que la familia venga a disfrutar, venga a degustar, darle gusto al paladar y probar diferentes tortas de diferentes lugares del país y de internacionales como lo que estamos ahorita acá.
Different from the traditional sandwich, the traditional Mexican torta is bigger in size and can be made out of a variety of products. Catch Fetichi or voodoo wrestling is a wildly over-the-top Congolese sport where participants fight each other and use magic to try to win the match. A huge draw in impoverished neighborhoods of the Democratic Republic of Congo's sprawling capital, Kinshasa. Voodoo wrestling features men and women of all sizes who use various degrees of magic in the ring. To get ready, fighters prepare incantations used in the ring or commune with specters or fictitious animals or objects that they believe to be imbued with magical powers or inhabited by a spirit. The fight is judged based on 3 criteria: technique, courage, and magic. Staged late in the evening on a rickety wrestling ring, the booths attracted around 200 people, paying 3,000 Congolese francs and $1.24 for an adult ticket. The precise origins of the sport are unclear, with wrestlers saying they had followed the example of their elders. But some experts say mystical confrontation dates to the 1970s and the era of the rubble in the jungle, the legendary boxing match in Kinshasa between Muhammad Ali and George Foreman. All right, that concludes today's edition of Updates at Noon. In our top story, President Erdogan expresses commitment to visit Malaysia. Do tune in to Malaysia Tonight coming up later at 8:30 p.m. on saluran Berita RTM. Till then, I'm Nur Zamri, Malaysia Madani. Take up perpaduan penuhi harapan. Thank you for watching and have a wonderful day.